Sri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Sri Sai SATCHARITRA, an Insight, Episode 177. My humble prostrations at the lotus feet of our Sadguru Sai. By the divine grace of Sai, an attempt has been made to translate the gist of the divine discourse of Sri Ramanathan brother telecasted in Sai TV. This is purely done to share the glory of Sai and his divine teachings with more insight to the aspirants. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnuhu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahmam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. In the previous episode, we were listening the Sakya Bhakti that was revealed by Sharma to Sri Sai Baba, like the one between Arjuna and Lord Krishna. In continuation to that, we can heed to few incredible leelas now. These interesting miracles have been recorded by Dr. Keshav B. Gavankar in his book Shirdi Sai Baba. They also unveil the most unique and intimate relationship that prevailed between Sharma and Sri Sai Baba. Though at various instances Sharma had used familiar words during his interaction that only revealed his bondage with Sri Sai Maharaj, and we shall listen to those leelas now. To start with, Sharma asked Sri Sai Baba if Ramayan was true, and he inquired about the bridge that was constructed by Lord Rama, known as Rama's Setu, with the help of the Vanara army or Sedu Bandhanam to cross the ocean from Dhanushkodi to Lanka for rescuing goddess Sita. Sharma wants to discuss about this to Sri Sai Baba. So he asked, Deva, in Ramayan it is written that Lord Rama built the bridge over the ocean and nearly 1 crore monkey army were involved in the construction. Is that all true? Because when one can never see the shores of the ocean, then how can a bridge be built across it, was his doubt. Sri Sai Baba said, Shamya, that's all true. Lord Rama was there, ocean was there, and the bridge that was constructed over it is also true. All the 1 crore monkeys helped in building that bridge. Sharma was still not convinced. He asked, Deva, how can there be space for all the 1 crore monkeys to even stand there? Where did they all stand? Sri Sai Maharaj said, all of them were clinging to the branches of the trees there. They all looked like ants sealed to the trees. Though Sharma addressed Sri Sai Baba as Deva, he also used the familiar term Are along with that. So the conversation usually began like Are Deva. The meaning of Are in Marathi is equivalent to Hey man. Though Sri Sai affirmed that they are true, Sharma didn't stop there. He said, you are giving assurance to all these scenes as though you witnessed them personally. Devotees, listen to what Sri Sai Baba said. Shamya, I swear, I observed them with my own eyes. This is all real. Sharma retorted sarcastically, Are Deva, Ramayan took place in Treta Yuga, whereas I have seen you as a young lad without moustache How could have you witnessed the Vanara Sena, that is the monkey army? Sri Sai replied thus, Shamya, all that I speak is true. Seated in Dwarakamai, will I lie? Trust me, I swear upon you. Please don't give room for suspicions and believe my words completely. If so, then when did you see all these? Sri Sai responded, I was there at that time. Immediately Shama asked, If so, what was your age? Then Sri Sai said, I was of the same age as you see me now. This conversation reveals that Sri Sai Maharaj, being the Supreme Lord, was present during the Treta age and now in Kali Yuga also. He is that Yuga Purusha who exists in all the ages, as he is beyond time. Though this was spoken explicitly by Sri Sai Baba, Shyama couldn't get the purport of it. He asked, Are Deva, what do you mean by that? Sri Sai declared, Shyama, we both have been associated for the past many generations. We have been together for many births, and I can remember the connection between us in all those past births, whereas you cannot remember them. Devotees, to the amazement, this same dialogue had been proclaimed by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, and it is, we both have connections for the past many births, and you cannot recall them, whereas I can remember all of it. Sri Sai Baba spoke this statement not only to Shyama but also as a message to Nanasahibchandurkar while sending the devotee Appa Kulkarni to bring him for his darshan. Appa Kulkarni insisted Nanasahibchandurkar to come for Sri Sai Baba's darshan. Despite his repeated call, Nana Sahib was not willing to come for the darshan. He was serving the government as deputy collector and had no belief in sages and saints. He thought they don't possess any divine powers but do some magic to attract the crowd, and decided that Sri Sai Baba is calling him for some personal benefits. But Sri Sai Baba repeatedly sent word through Appa Kulkarni. So without any interest, Nanasahibchandurkar finally came for Sri Sai Maharaj's darshan. At that moment, Sri Sai Baba said, Nana, I am not calling all the Nanas in this world. Out of thousands, I have called you, as I have a reason for it. Nana asked for the reason. Then Sri Sai Baba said, We have relations spanning over 4 births. You do not know this, but I am aware of it. Therefore, I have been repeatedly calling you. Now getting back to the original thread, to make Shyama believe his assertions, Sri Sai Maharaj even said, I swear upon you, Shyama. Devotees, this is a very important statement, and Dr. Keshav B. Gavankar in his book Shirdiche Sai Baba quotes from Jnaneshwari Sloka 1368. The meaning of it goes thus. Lord Krishna says, Arjuna, don't ever doubt my words. My words are never untrue, and I swear this upon you. The author compares this sloka with the assertion of Sri Sai Baba to Shyama. Let us heed to the second miracle now. Shyama suffered from eye infection. His eyes became red, swollen, and watered profusely. The pain was unbearable. He tried various medicines and ointment, but it didn't give any relief. Almost for 4 days, He suffered and was unable to even go to Dwarakmai. Finally, he went to Dwarakmai, and as soon as he went and sat in front of Sri Sai Baba, Baba asked him, "Shamya, is everything fine with you?" He became very angry and said, "Are Deva, I have never seen such a cruel and unconcerned God like you. For the last 4 days I am crying in pain. My eyes are swollen. You are not even bothered about me." Devotees, I beg your pardon. I am only repeating the words that Gavankarji has recorded from the conversation that took place between Sri Sai Baba and Shyama in this book. Shyama even asked Sri Sai Baba, "Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you blind or deaf? What is the use of having a God like you? If by tomorrow my eyes are not cured, then I will chase you out of Dwarakamai, or my name is not Shyama. I am suffering so much and you are sitting here without any concern." Sri Sai Maharaj was silent all the time. After Shyama poured out all his frustrations, Sri Sai Maharaj spoke these words, and I would like to share them in Marathi language as written in the book, says Ramanathan brother. "Ugach vat vat karu nakos Shamya, सात मिर्यांच दाने उगल आने दे, दोलियत गलून मंगे बाग तुझे दूली विंगावने होतिला." Which means, Shamya, don't grumble. Take 7 black peppercorns, boil them in water, and then put them in your eyes. The remedy suggested by Sri Sai Maharaj infuriated Shyama more. He shouted in anger, "Are Deva, are you trying to be very smart? Where on earth have you learned this Vaidgiri? I will put the black peppercorns in my eyes and my eyes will burst. Is this what you are planning for? What a great medicine you have suggested for me. Your suggestions will only burst people's eyes." Sri Sai Maharaj quietly listened to his tauntings and said, "Shamya, you are making a great deal out of nothing. Stay calm. Don't scream. Listen to my instruction and follow that. After following my prescription, if your eyes don't get cleared, then you can get angry with me. Now don't think you are very smart." Though outwardly it looks as though Shyama is dejected and is annoyed with Sri Sai Maharaj's advices, in real he loves his Deva to the core, and he always likes to speak such argumentative dialogues which reveal his intimate friendship and his authority to exercise that legitimate association with Sri Sai Baba. So this is also one such instance. Shyama's nature is such, he is not a submissive person. Sri Sai Maharaj is cognizant of Shyama's thoughts and attitude. Hence, he tolerated all that Shyama spoke. If devotees can recall, Hemat Pandji says in the 53rd OV, they always indulged in loving disputes, which reveals that the disputes were there, but that was not owing to enmity or bitter thoughts that prevailed between each other. Instead, love existed between them, and owing to possessiveness and dominating attitude of Shyama, there were loving disputes between both. Hence, even after this outburst by Shyama, Sri Sai Maharaj spoke in a calm tone thus, "Shamya, don't think you are very smart. Listen to my directions and follow that. Your eyes will become crystal clear. If the medicine doesn't heal your eye infection, Then you can get angry and blame it on me." Sharma had unswerving faith on the Lord. Hence, he followed the directions of Sri Sai Baba word to word, and his eye infection got cured. This Leela is mentioned in the Sri Sai SATCHARITRA, but devotees, prior to this incident, Sharma also suffered from piles. So, Sharma asked Sri Sai Maharaj to suggest a remedy, and by following the directions, Sharma got relieved from the pain. Few years later, again he got piles. This time, instead of going to Sri Sai Maharaj and asking for relief from the suffering, he tried to use the same medication that was earlier suggested by Sri Sai Baba for him. To his shock, instead of giving a relief, the medication aggravated his condition. This caused more discomfort and pain. His sufferings were worst. At this juncture, Sharma went to Dwarakamai, and Sri Sai Baba said in a sarcastic tone, "Come, Vaidyaraj, what happened?" That's when Sharma realized his folly. The medication suggested by Sri Sai was appropriate for Sharma in the first instance, but without the consent of Sri Sai Maharaj, when Sharma tried the same medicine, it worsened his conditions. Knowing this, Sri Sai Baba addressed him jovially as Vaidyaraj. The reason for quoting this instance here is to highlight the association that existed between Sharma and Sri Sai Baba. At various occasions, the statements of Sri Sai Maharaj would be provoking the anger of Sharma. I have a humble request to all the devotees to not have any ill thoughts against Sharma. None should think that Sharma has a discourteous behavior towards Sri Sai Baba. In reality, both had a strong bondage and adored each other very much. Hence, Sri Sai Maharaj permitted this behavior of Sharma. Let us listen to another instance in this regard. Once, Sharma approached Sri Sai Baba to bless the women from Aurangabad, known as Aurangabadkar, with a progeny. At that moment, Sri Sai Baba was in a joyful mood, and he pinched Sharma's cheeks. Immediately, Sharma pretended to be offended and said, "Deva, we don't want the god that would pinch us." For which Sri Sai Maharaj said, "Oh Shamya, the connection between you and me is for the past 72 generations. Have I ever touched you?" So they both always rebuked each other and then immediately became the best of buddies. Every Leela reminisces the conversation that took place between Arjuna and Lord Krishna. We heard that Sharma suffered severely of eye infection, and when Sri Sai Baba inquired his welfare, he became furious and began to speak vehemently. So to Sri Sai Baba, saying, "Your medicine will only burst my eyes." Now devotees might wonder if there was any similar situation between Arjuna and Lord Krishna. Yes, in Jnaneshwari, which contains the commentary of Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 3, sloka 8, Arjuna speaks to Lord Krishna thus: "When a doctor, after examining the patient, provides medicine that is mixed with poison, then is there any chance of survival for the patient?" Now Dr. Gavankar compares Sharma's question to Sri Sai Maharaj. If a Hakim, that is a doctor, would suggest to put boiled black peppercorns on the infected eyes, will that not cause the eyes to burst? Wow! What a similarity in the dialogue delivery between Arjuna and Shyama. In fact, Hemat Panji has stated in Sri Sai SATCHARITRA that as one needs to get the consent of Nandi to take the blessings of Lord Shiva, similarly, devotees approached Sri Sai Maharaj through Shyama. The relationship between both were extraordinary. Hence, Shyama often took liberties with him. Devotees might have observed with amazement that Shyama's name is mentioned almost in every miracle that we read in Sri Sai SATCHARITRA. He has taken a lead role at every instance. Many examples have been quoted by Dr. Gavankar in his book. Also, we need to observe that not at all circumstances Sri Sai Baba allowed Shyama to behave in his way. We can listen to one such situation now. Out of the Dakshina money collected by Sri Sai Maharaj, large amounts were distributed daily to many devotees. But nothing was given to Shyama for his use, but were given to him to keep it in his safe custody. Sometimes Dakshina was sent through money orders to Sri Sai Baba, and he would ask Shyama to record the inflow, keep the money and give it back to him whenever he asked for it. This money was used by Sri Sai Maharaj for various welfare activities. Sometimes Sri Sai Baba would also give money to Jog for safekeeping. He would give ₹2 and by evening would ask Jog to give account for ₹4. Then Jog would get mad and say, "Baba, you only gave me ₹2 this morning. Then how can I give you account for ₹4? Then Sri Sai Maharaj would immediately compromise on the issue and say, "Okay, leave it. I might have said something owing to my poor memory. Now, tell me what happened to that ₹2. This kind of conversations has been very common between Sri Sai Baba and his close associates. Once a money order of ₹2 was received and was collected by Shyama from the post office. Shyama thought Sri Sai would not keep account of this and will usually forget it. Hence, he used that money for his personal use and didn't reveal this to Sri Sai Baba. Devotees, Sri Sai Maharaj is the supreme God. Nothing is veiled to Baba. He is omniscient, but he never asked about this to Shyama. One night, there was a theft at Shyama's house, and a large amount of money was stolen. He searched for it everywhere and later reported in the police station. Was very upset about this loss. He came angrily to Sri Sai Baba and asked, "Oh Deva, I have lost a great amount of money. Do you feel good about the loss of a poor man like me?" Now Sri Sai Baba calmly asked, "Are Shamya, now you lost your money, so you're coming to complain about it to me? My 2 rupees were stolen. To whom should I go and complain about it?" Now Shyama understood what Sri Sai Baba spoke. He quickly said, "Baba, 2 rupees and this huge amount is equivalent to you?" For which Sri Sai Maharaj said, 250 rupees for a poor man like you has the same value of 2 rupees for a fakir like me. The gist of this statement is the value of ₹2 sent as dakshina by a devotee is far worthier than anything. Here, the value of money is not taken into consideration, but the good intention of the devotee to offer to Lord Sri Sai Baba is valued than anything else. So, Shyama realized that the theft was a punishment for his wrong action. Such unfathomable Leelas are illustrated in plenty by various Sai philosophers and research authors. We are compiling them to understand the crux of the Leelas narrated by Hemat Panji in Sri Sai SATCHARITRA. The other intriguing Leelas will be heeded in the next episode. Bow to Sri Sai. Peace be to all. Om Sai Ram.